Welcome to There's a Musical for That.
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 And if you like cellar dwellers
And trapdoor lovers,
there's a musical for that.
And if you like mermaids, crabs, and guppies, why? There's a musical for that.
If you like fan of the opera fan fiction, there's a musical for that.
If you like falling in love and broken hearts, and establishing your dreams and then having them dashed, and duels, there's a musical for that.
and it's called Wicked.
And it's called Little Mermaid Live.
It's called Hamilton.
And it's called Dogfight.
And it's called Fan of the Opera 2, Love Never Died.
Welcome to There's a Musical for That.
Welcome to There's a Musical for That, the podcast where we prove there's a musical for every situation.
So smart.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Kayla.
And if you like, what was it?
Revisionist history.
Revisionist history. There's a musical for that.
All decided.
And it's called, I think you should leave it in. And it's called Wicked. Wicked. That's not right. That's not the tone at all. Wicked.
That's what she says for the first time, I feel. Wicked. So that's that.
Yeah.
That's going to be the intro song.
I was
already
thinking
thought
more
about
of the song, like
What song says Wicked in
one of them. One of them.
it?
No one mourns the wicked.
Oh, yeah.
The first one. I know
No
this.
one mourns the wicked. No.
Wicked. Yes, because then they say wicked a couple times.
Yeah, they do a lot of harmonizing, and
Yes.
we already know I can't do that.
Wicked. No one mourns the wicked lyrics. If you heard some clacking, I'm typing up some lyrics because.
Good news.
Yeah, such a lovely. See there, 3 times in a row. Wicked, wicked, wicked.
That they are screaming that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
No, are they?
Hey, people, no, we need to round it back. Listen, people. It's 5 o'clock on a Friday. We're ready to go to sleep. We are here to talk about mostly the soundtrack of Wicked, since Tiffany is the only one who's seen it.
Yes. We can also talk a little bit about the book. Do we
Sure.
want to go over our background of what we know about Wicked and our experience?
Yeah, I
with
think
it?
that's fine. I just wanted to tell people we will be mostly focusing on the soundtrack.
Okay.
So,
I can talk about the musical that I saw. I can't talk about any of the names. I still have my playbill.
but you don't have it with you.
No, it's at
You
home.
said that in the Phantom of the Opera episode.
I'm sorry, listeners. Okay. Do you want to talk about your experience first, or would you like me to talk about my experience first?
I'll do it first because it's very short.
Okay.
I've read the book
Mhm.
and I've listened to the soundtrack.
Okay.
Oh, no, I did see a version of Wicked that someone had placed online that my sister's friend downloaded illegally for her. So I saw that.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
It was fine. It was very grainy and the person kept putting their camera down because they weren't supposed to be recording. But that's my experience.
Okay. I was actually thinking, when we talked about doing this, why we haven't done it sooner, and that's why, because you haven't seen it. Because Wicked was actually the first musical I ever saw live.
Oh
I
my
was a freshman in high school, and my neighbor got tickets from her boss, and like the day that she was going, she reached out to my mom, and she's like, hey, we have this extra ticket. Would Tiffany want to go? And I remember sitting in my room, because I don't like to do things that are unplanned, and I was like, oh, do I want to go out and do something? Because I didn't know at the time how
You
awesome
hadn't
Wicked
known
was.
about this before?
I heard like little snippets advertising on the radio, but I didn't love all musicals yet. This is really one of the reasons
Wow.
I fell in love
It's bizarre.
with musicals. Because I'd fallen in love with Phantom of the Opera, the movie and soundtrack the summer before, and then this was a few months after. It was around, I think it was December of 2005. So anyway, I was invited to that. I was like, yeah, I'll go. And I loved it. I had an edge seat. Like, we had box seats it was at the Fox Theater in St. Louis. And it was obviously tickets from her boss. So typically, if you get boss tickets, they're the
Nice.
best tickets.
Yeah.
Yes, I sat on the very edge because I was the random guest that was invited, so I didn't want to take a good seat. So I remember a lot of people were sitting in front of me. There were a lot of heads, and because we were in like the dining section, it was all one level, so they weren't heads that were staggered down. I was leaning to the side the entire time, trying to see, like leaning around people, and it was still amazing. I absolutely loved it. So
Good.
after that, I pretty much immediately bought the soundtrack and listened to it on repeat for a long, long time. And then I also read the book shortly thereafter, which
It's a strange little thing. Yeah.
Weird.
I found out about Wicked, I can remember the exact day. I was in the kitchen with all of my sisters. Maybe my oldest sister was away at college still. I don't know. It was the summertime. And my sister Kendra was telling us about this new musical where it's the story of the Wizard of Oz, but it's told from the witch's perspective. And I remember being like, okay, let's go rent it. Like, let's go. And she was like, no, it's not out yet. And I was like, well, why are you telling me about this? Because I'm used to the ones, like my sister Kelly mentioned, we had all the Andrew Lloyd Webber ones on VHS. We had Cats and Joseph. So I was like, let's just go to Schnucks and rent it. And we couldn't.
No.
So that's
Still
how I found
can't.
out about this. Still can't. That's very true.
Yes.
So I think we should give a synopsis of the general story of Wicked.
Excellent.
I will
idea.
let you take it.
Okay, so hopefully most listeners know the story of the Wizard of Oz, which is Dorothy gets sucked up in a tornado and plops down in Oz, and there's the Wicked Witch of the West who, when she landed in Oz, she landed on the Wicked Witch of the East. Her house killed the Wicked Witch of the East, and the Good Witch Galinda made the Wicked Witch of the East's ruby slippers appear on Dorothy's feet. And then the Wicked Witch of the East's sister, I'm going to call her the Witch of the West.
It's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. The entire rest of the movie was that evil witch following Dorothy, trying to get her sister's shoes back. So she, in the original story, and I have not read the Wizard of Oz book, so that's all based on. Oh, okay.
I read the first one.
Okay. So that's the wrong synopsis. That's the story of the original Wizard of Oz story.
Well, in the end,
yes.
what happens to?
Yes. So that's the background of the story for Wicked. And in Wicked, this is all based
Well, you
on.
forgot to mention that Dorothy kills the witch in the end.
Oh yes. In the end, Dorothy kills the Wicked Witch of the West by throwing some water on her.
Yes.
So then this Mr. Gregory Maguire writes the book Wicked, which is what this entire musical is based on, that tells this story from the Wicked Witch of the West's perspective. Elphaba is her name. And it really paints her in not as quite an evil light. She is actually pretty good, and really makes the other characters not quite as good as they were. So it really takes out that there's good guys and bad guys aspect, and there's just people and they're good and bad.
Well, it's more about like political aspirations.
Well, yes, that too. But it has political aspirations, but that's one of the takeaways I got of like how also Into the Woods did a similar thing in that
They're kind of it's another revisionist like retelling of the story.
yes, because the stories that you grow up with as a child are very black and white. Like these are good guys and these are bad guys, and this is a story. The way that what I got out of it, like re-exploring that, and that no, not all bad guys are just bad guys, and not all good guys are just good guys. There's a little mix in all of this.
Yeah, and I think that's much more apparent in the musical than the book.
Yeah, for sure.
The book, I'm pulling the political aspect from the book because I feel like I read. No,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. Because I feel like I read an interview with the guy, and he was like, yeah, because how Elphaba is what he names the Wicked Witch of the West. West, right?
West.
Yes. They call her the Wicked Witch of the West, and in the book, it's essentially like a political move to taint her in this way, to give her this nickname so people don't start following her. But regardless.
Okay. So there are parts of the book that I remember because they were just so weird.
Yeah.
But in general, I don't remember a lot of the details of the book. But I do remember a lot of the details of the musical. So, synopsis of the musical itself. Elphaba is like the child of an affair that her mother had with a traveling salesman selling a green elixir. So she was born, her mother was married to someone else, and I guess he assumes that it's his kid, but something weird went wrong. And then she also has another little sister, Nessa, yes, who has weak legs
in the musical. Weak legs.
Because her father made her mother drink a lot of milk so that she would be white and not green like Elphaba.
They said that in the musical?
Yes, if I'm remembering correctly. Which would not result, whatever.
How did they give her stick legs? Milk's good for you, apparently.
Right, it would make strong bones, right?
Whoever wrote this, Stephen Schwartz, you don't know science, biology.
Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, so I don't want to.
Because it was different in the book, so that's what I know.
Okay. No. And this was one of the speaking parts of, because there's minor speaking parts in the musical. So it's about Elphaba and Nessa going off to college, and Elphaba gets to go to help take care of Nessa. So that's why they're both starting their first year at college. And Elphaba's college roommate, she's paired with Galinda, who is just Miss Popular, very into appearance, and they do not get along at all. And then she also meets the popular boy Fiyero, who Galinda really likes Fiyero, and at first they get along, but then Fiyero actually starts to like Elphaba, and they get into it.
Boy, do
they have a thing. And the wizard, who in the end, spoiler alerts, in the end you find out the wizard is actually Elphaba's father. So, the wizard is also doing all of his not so good stuff with the monkeys, and he's taking away the animals' ability to speak, turning them into actual animals.
The capital A animals who are like people.
Yes, because in this, animals can speak. They're like people, and he's making it so it's not possible. So he's trying to recruit Elphaba for her powers, but she doesn't want to do that because she has a professor who's an animal, and she doesn't want to like take away their ability to speak. So she's actually more on the good side of like, no, that's wrong, and that's where the division comes from. And Galinda gets caught up, and she wants that power and that popularity. So she still sides with the wizard, and they kind of make Elphaba be an outcast and an outlaw in that sense. So that's where that division comes from. And
because they do end up being friends.
Yes.
But that tears them apart.
And that kind of will bring us to the finale of...
Yeah, they go their separate ways.
Yes.
And Glinda's on the rise, doing the quote-unquote right thing, which is the popular thing, I guess, and Elphaba's out being an outlaw, and then they meet again
briefly
near the end.
Fiyero turns into the Scarecrow, and he and Elphaba wander off together. Everybody thinks that Elphaba was killed when she had water poured over her, but she wasn't, so she and Fiyero wander off. I hope she turns him back into a man. And then the wizard stops doing bad things. So they kind of do turn around, and Galinda, like, they seem to be doing better, but Galinda stays in power, right? Like, they stop.
I think so.
Yes. I don't remember the end that well, actually.
I know that part happens because
Yeah.
doesn't she pop back up out of the floor, and Fiyero and her.
Yes.
Because when I was like,
And that's pretty much the end of that. Like, there's no more follow-up what happens. So they just run off, and Galinda stays in as the Good Witch. She's very popular.
Sends Dorothy on her way.
Mhm.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
We can just go through the songs. I think that's the easiest way to keep it all in line. So, No One Mourns the Wicked is the first song on the soundtrack, and it introduces Elphaba and Galinda. Yes, that's the last word. And it's Galinda telling the story of Elphaba. So this whole story is wrapped in Galinda telling a story. The first song starts with Galinda talking. The last song ends with her saying, well, this is how it ended. But she starts with Elphaba's birth and talks about you see the man come in and cheat with her mom, and this green baby is born. Ta-da. Wicked. Yes. Next, Dear Old Shiz is just a song about the college, and I shared on our Facebook page. Somebody was selling sweatshirts with the Shiz logo, like it's a real college sweatshirt.
Okay.
So if you want to check that out on our Facebook, TAMFT Podcast, you totally can.
Cool. So the third song is The Wizard and I, one of the more popular songs and the promotional song in like when it's advertised on the radio and such.
Wizard and I.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's I almost sponsored by her actual name.
Adina.
Yes. Elphaba meeting. What's the professor lady's name?
Miss Morrible or something like that. Madam Morrible. Isn't it something like that? Or is that
Sure.
from something
I don't
else?
know. I don't know.
She meets the lady, the teacher.
Who gives her hope that she like sees her talent as a witch and says, "Oh, you could work with the wizard someday."
Mhm.
So this is the first time she's ever actually been encouraged. So she has this nice, "Oh, the wizard and I" of working together.
Mhm.
Nice and done.
What is this feeling is when
So something new. Or wait, so sudden and new. Sorry, I love this
the
song.
moment I laid eyes on you. Yeah. So this is Galinda and Elphaba meeting each other and just like, we are total opposites. I hate you. Loathing, unadulterated loathing for your hair, your voice, your clothing. Oh.
Let's just say
I
a
love
little, every little trick, however small,
makes my very soul.
flesh
I was
begin to crawl.
a simple other loathing.
Clothing,
Okay.
such a strange exhilaration, for such total detestation, so pure and so
So strong. You left me.
I can't do that.
I was just screaming. Okay, something.
You did it beautifully.
Oh, thank you. I got this nice
Don't
squirt to
touch the
lubricate.
Came up fast. Still I do believe that it can last,
and
I will be loathing
you, my
truly.
whatever. You,
My whole life long. Nope, it's long. It's just fastened. My whole life long.
Unadulterated loathing. Boo! That's the end.
Ah!
Yeah. Right? Whatever. I know that's the end
yes.
part.
Boo ah is the end. So yes, I like that song. Anyway, song 5, Something Bad, which is after they find out that the animals are losing their ability to speak.
The capital A animals are becoming lowercase a
Yes.
animals.
And that is something bad is happening in Oz. Not a great song.
Well, I was just going to mention Elphaba's teacher, Dr. Dillamond.
Mhm.
He is a ram or some sort of... Yeah, so the very last, it's Elphaba and her teacher singing about this, and the very last is like him reverting back to an animal, and he goes, something bad.
He's a goat?
He's some sort of cloven animal. Freaking know.
Song 6 is also very good.
Dancing through life, skimming the surface, gliding where turf is smooth. It's Fiero who's like,
Less more painless.
for the brainless, why think too hard when it's so soothing? So it's Fiero who's like the bad boy, new kid in town coming in and just saying, hey, like, I'm just lazy and I get everything I want because I'm attractive and people like me and
Mhm.
popular.
He's just dancing through life.
And that's when,
And that's where he meets Belinda.
yeah, that's where you get the love connection because she's like, I'm popular and people like me.
You're perfect.
You're popular. Yeah, you're perfect. You're
and we're perfect together.
Born to be
Forever.
I don't know
I
if
think
I
so.
said those words right. So there's the love connection between Fiero and Galinda just on purely, oh my gosh, purely physical, superficial things. And then you get Nessa and Bach.
Yes.
So Nessa Rose, which is Elphaba's sister, is super into Bach. And Galinda, quote unquote, helps her and sets her up with Bach because Bach is really into Galinda. And she's like,
she doesn't, yes.
She's like, I just want him to like get away from me because I like
Yes.
Fiero. So she's like, oh, you see that girl in that wheelchair? Go talk to her. She's so cute and
Yes.
nice.
Because she doesn't want, she wants to get rid of Bach. So
she's
like,
quote unquote nice.
yes, I know someone would be my hero if someone
If that someone were
To go and bite her.
Yes, so she essentially just emotionally manipulates
Yes.
Bach and like, oh, whoever danced with that girl in the wheelchair would be like the greatest guy ever. And Bach, Nessa like really likes him, and he dances with her and just accepts that this is what it is.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well this girl likes me, whatever. I guess
Yeah.
I'll hang out with her until that goes awry. And you see Elphaba is kind of just an outcast still in this space.
And isn't this, I think Galinda had already given Elphaba the hat at this point. So Galinda, someone like, I don't know, an aunt or someone sends Galinda a hat as a gift, and it's the traditional witch's hat, the pointy black hat, and she thinks it's terrible. So she's like, oh, here, Elphaba, you have this gift. And she's just...
It's for someone so smart like you.
Right. And sharp.
Yeah.
And Elphaba actually accepts it, like, genuinely. She's like, oh, thanks for the hat. And she thinks it's really nice, whereas Galinda was actually being...
She's a lot of
a
backhanded
little-
compliment
yes.
type person. She was being snarky about it.
Yes. But I think that Elphaba actually wore the hat to the dance. Is that right?
I haven't
If she'd
seen
already
this.
given... Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, it has been now 17 years. So, not 17.
Were you a child when you saw this?
I was
You were 6?
kind of, but it has been
Some years.
12 years.
Okay, that's the better one.
So kind of.
Yeah.
I was not driving it. Anyway, that's Dancing Through Life. The next song is Popular, where they get back, and Elphaba is so happy. She saw what Galinda did for Nessa and hooking her up with the boy that she liked, and she thought that was really sweet, and she'd given her the hat. So Elphaba just thinks she's really nice at this point. So Galinda is feeling a little bad, and she's like, oh, we're going to make you popular. And what she's going to do to just make her look better and help her to be more accepted. This is a very vain song.
And about how she's just so nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's going to make you popular, Lar. She's not going to make her popular, but she'll make her more popular.
I hate that we actually did not mention who is singing all these songs. So on the original cast recording, Adina Menzel, Adele Dazeem, she's better known. That's what John Travolta called her at the Oscars. You don't remember that?
Oh, no, I don't.
He introduced her as the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
Oh, no.
I think he's on drugs. Anyway, Adina Menzel is Elphaba, who you also know as Elsa. She was introduced to sing Let It Go, and she messed up, and I blame John Travolta because she was probably like, who is that? And they're like, it's you, go, go. And Kristen Chenoweth is Galinda, who changes her name to Glinda. Bach is played by Christopher Fitzgerald, who's in Waitress. He's in Waitress. Those are the really big people, but we can keep going.
Okay. I'm not that girl. Is this after Elphaba has a little crush on Fiyero, and she's essentially saying he's never going to like me because I'm not that popular girl that he would likes.
Yeah, I'm not bubbly or cute.
Yes.
Which you're fine. You don't have to be bubbly to be a great person and cute and attractive.
That's right. You can be green.
You can
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and you can be like grumpy too.
One short day
in the Emerald City. Oh, I've always wanted to see the Emerald City. So this is Glinda and Elphaba
going to see the wizard in the Emerald City.
In the big city.
Yes, and they're very excited.
And they proclaim they're we're best friends at this point. They just two friends, two good friends,
two best
friends. So this is a real turning point in their relationship where they're like, you are my best friend.
Yes.
And we're going to take over the world together. We're going to see the wizard together. We'll do great things.
And then they meet the wizard, and he sings a sentimental man because he says he is a sentimental man.
Oh, this guy, actually Joel Grey, who played the wizard in this, when I saw Wicked at the Muni last year, he played the wizard in that.
Oh, that's cool.
And he just pumps himself up even though he's a POS.
Yes. Then Defying Gravity is after they this is where they part ways. So Glinda wants to do what the wizard is asking and help push his cause of making animals not be able to talk. And Alphaba thinks that is wrong. So,
Because it is.
yes.
And they come to a fork in the road where it's either you can do what the wizard says or you can just go your other way, and Alphaba decides
Yes. And Glinda doesn't feel brave enough, and she doesn't think they can go up against it, but Alphaba's like, no, we can do it together. Yes. They can defy gravity together. But even though Glinda doesn't go with Alphaba still
goes. She just
she goes.
she has a cause, and they leave with essentially, "I hope you're happy."
Yes.
And what Alphaba says, "I hope you're happy choosing the wrong way," and Glinda essentially says the same thing to her, like, "I hope you're happy you're choosing the wrong way."
Mm-hmm. Thank goodness is Glinda speaking with the people now, trying to promote the
way of the wizard.
Yes.
Is it a party? It sounds like a party from the song.
It's not a party. It's more like a public speaking
event
thing. Yes, almost like a campaigning sort of thing. Where yes.
And you get like Fiyero kind of showing his distaste because I guess he has a liking for Elphaba too.
Yes.
So some of the things they're saying about Elphaba.
Her soul is so unclean that water will melt her.
Mm-hmm. All these rumors that Glinda's just kind of like letting go, and the lady, the teacher, is kind of like, yeah, spread these rumors about her. Fiyero's like, no, I don't like it, and kind of storms out, and Glinda's like, oh, he's just gone to fetch me a refreshment.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still kind of being fakey fake.
Yes. Wonderful is
Elphaba going back to talk to the wizard.
Yes.
And he's trying to convince her over to his cause and saying they'll call you wonderful. Like they call me wonderful, so much who I am is part of my name. All of who he is actually part of his name because he actually had no powers. He was just a sham.
But she still does not do what he wants. I don't know how she and Fiyero run into each other again, but they do. So there's I'm Not That Girl reprise where Glinda actually finds out, like she knows at this point that Fiyero is leaving, so now she's not that girl because he has chosen Elphaba, and Glinda is not the girl that Fiyero is going to be with. And then As Long As You're Mine.
I like that song.
Ooh.
It's the love song between Elphaba and Fiyero where they're just like, nothing else matters as long as you're mine.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kiss me too fiercely, hold me too tight. Ooh. And at one point on Broadway, real life married couple at the time, Idina Menzel and Taye Diggs, got to play these parts, which is fun.
Ooh.
Oh, did they play them together? They were in Rent together. Anywho, that might be fake news. Sorry.
And then I don't know if the mob got a hold of Fiyero. I don't know what happened, but Fiero's life is in danger, and they're gonna be beating him. So Elphaba does a spell. Yes, trying to protect Fiyero in the song No Good Deeds so that he won't be beaten to death. Like, may your bones never break. So essentially, he has no bones. This is where she turns Fiyero into the Scarecrow, trying to protect him from being beaten to death.
Let him never die. Let him never die.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a bad existence.
Mm-hmm.
And she pretty much laments of all the people that she tried to help. It's just gone wrong, and she, mentions her sister and Dr. Dillamond, and I'm just not going to try to be good anymore. I tried, and what has it gotten me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then March of the Witch Hunters, where they're all going after Elphaba together.
And they're talking about all the horrible things she's done, and Bach is saying, it's her fault I'm like this, and the lions, it's her fault I'm like this, and this Scarecrow, it's her fault. I just want to kill her.
Yes. What did she do to that lion? She tried to save it.
Yes, but it turned him. She didn't let him. In the song, they say like she didn't let him stand up for himself.
Yes, he was being
tortured or something, right?
Or I don't know if he was being tortured or if he was essentially like the people who were making them not be able to speak had a hold of him, and he was a cub at the time, and she set him free, and he blames that on why he's a coward now because he didn't stand up. He wasn't allowed to stand up for himself.
She stopped him.
This is great.
We're good.
I also really like this song.
It's a good song.
This is Elphaba and Glinda seeing each other again, and just it's their friendship song about how they've been changed because they know each other.
And what is it? I don't know if I've been changed for
For
the
the
better, but I've been changed for
For
good.
good, yes.
You still made an impact on my life, and I
Yes.
don't hate you necessarily, but
Yes, which is actually part of the words, like
no. Okay.
the no he. What are the words? I can't.
I ask forgiveness for the things I've done. You blame me for, and then I guess we know there's blame to
yes.
share.
Thank you.
Never seems to matter anymore.
Yes, very powerful vocals in this song too. I like it. And then the finale. At this point, everybody thinks that
Elphaba's been killed.
yes.
Fiero has been killed, or the Scarecrow / Fiero has been killed. They think.
Yes.
What is
And-
Galinda's last lament? Can you click on the lyrics of this? I'm trying to think of
Of
how
this
she
one?
of finale. I'm trying to think
I
of
don't
how
think
she
she's in
wraps it
here.
up. Because I knew you.
Mhm.
And then they repeat the beginning song, "No one mourns the wicked."
Yes.
And I'm assuming Galinda stands on stage looking forlornly at her past or something.
She goes up in a bubble.
Oh, cute. That's not what I thought. I just assumed she'd be on stage and everybody would slowly march out and she has a single spotlight. She's just like,
No, remember in The Wizard of Oz how she comes down in a bubble? They have like this metal thing that she is in, and she goes up in a quote bubble.
So I guess we can talk about a little bit of some of the differences between
The book and the musical.
the original L. Frank Baum book.
Oh,
Jeremy, what is his name? Not Jerry Maguire. Gregory Maguire.
Yes.
His book, Wicked, and then the musical Wicked, because
Okay.
there are some differences between all three.
Okay. And I haven't read The Wizard of Oz book.
Okay.
Oh, we could always do a mini-sode of The Wizard of Oz.
Mhm. We could do the movie. Yes. Yeah, we could. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that facial expression. So, I guess for the main characters of the Wizard of Oz book, you have Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow,
Mhm.
Glinda, the Wicked Witch.
The
So,
Wizard. Did you say The Wizard?
I did not. The Wizard also. So in the book Wicked, Dorothy is very much a small character, and it's like she is like played as some like really dopey girl that's just being used as a pawn by like Galinda and the Wizard to go kill Elphaba. In the original book, she is a little girl, but she's a heroine. In the musical, does Dorothy appear at all?
Not as a, like, she briefly shows up just to toss water on her, but I don't remember any type of backstory
Of her at all?
around that. Oh, well, she does appear because she lands on
Okay,
on
but they don't like.
No,
You don't see her like being used as a pawn by these people.
Correct.
Okay. So next we have the Tin Man, who in the book was a Tin Man, and Dorothy had the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow. In the book, Dorothy gets bopped on the head, and she sees these three people as three people that she knew in her actual life. In Wicked, the book, I don't think that they were people that Elphaba knew, but in Wicked, the musical, they definitely are.
Mm-hmm.
The lion was a lion cub that she had saw when she was in school. The Tin Man was Bach, who was a Munchkin, which is an ethnicity and not like a... In Wicked, Munchkin is an ethnicity. It's not like you're not a little person. Bach was her friend who got turned into this tin creature. I don't know why.
He snubbed Nessa.
And she flew off the handle?
Nessa is actually the one who turns Bach into the Tin Man, because after Bach
Breaks her heart.
breaks her heart, she gets a hold of Elphaba's spell book in an attempt to make him fall in love with her, but mispronounces the words, so he turns into the Heartless Tin Man.
Oh, why did he have to turn into tin?
I?
To save his life, she turns him into a Tin Man.
Oh.
Because he would have died if his heart was, like, missing. That's fair.
Okay, so Nessa, the way she did it, would have actually killed him, and Elphaba stops
Tries to do the right
yes.
thing, and he blames her
Yes.
for his issues.
Yes.
which of course in the book he's the Tin Woodsman who kept accidentally chopping. Well, he had a cursed axe and kept, whenever he would swing the axe, he would chop off bits of his body, and he would go to a Tin Man to like replace bits of his body in the book. But in the musical, it's very much, he claims that it's Elphaba's fault. And then, as Tiffany already said, the what's his name? The Scarecrow is Fiero, who's Elphaba's paramour. So Fiero in the book was a prince from a foreign land who had weird diamond tattoos. He was a very dark-skinned man and had blue diamond tattoos all over his body, and that was part of the reason him and Elphaba were drawn to each other, because they both got made fun of and were weird and different. Of course, in the book, Elphaba does die and gives birth to a son. Why are you laughing? Did it happen funnily? I don't remember.
It's just so weird.
It's a weird book.
It's so weird. Didn't she? Never mind. Carry on.
It's a weird. Yeah, she did.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. She did indeed have that.
Which is fine.
Any hoodles. In the book, Elphaba gives birth to a son, and she raises him for a little while and is very emotionally abusive to him, and then she dies, an old lady, or I don't know what she dies of. And that spawned a sequel, which is Son of the Witch. Also, Nessa Rose had no arms in the book because her mom was drinking some more of those weird potions that turned her daughter green, and her second child was born with no arms. And Elphaba enchanted the silver slippers to make it so she could walk like in balance properly. Do you remember that?
No.
Because in the play, doesn't she give her the slippers and it lets her walk regular, like not in a wheelchair? Oh, that's what I assumed they would do. But in the book, Nessa has no arms, and
I don't know.
the shoes allow her to walk without like falling over because she can't balance because she has no arms. I'm trying to think of anything else. Those are really the main point. There's a lot of weird stuff in the book, so just it's weird. That thing with the lion. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Okay, let's not revisit it.
Yep.
So something about, I just want to point out about the movie The Wizard of Oz. They're talking about when Dorothy meets Glinda for the first time, and she says, "You can't be a witch. Witches are ugly."
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Glinda says, "All witches are ugly. Bad witches are ugly," or something like that. I remember even as a child being like, "You're not very pretty." I just want to throw that out there. R.I.P. Lady who played Glinda, and R.I.P. Judy Garland.
And then she asks,
"Are you a good witch?"
Yes.
So what are you saying about me?
Good witch.
You want to fight?
Pardon?
Do you want to fight?
Clearly, I'm a good witch.
If you're a good witch, I'm a great witch. That's what I would have said, but whatever. So how do you feel about this soundtrack in particular, just how the music of the show?
What was that question?
How do you feel about just the music of the show?
Oh, I think it's great. I love it.
Okay.
Do you want more? Do you want me to expand on that?
It's
okay.
5:51.
That's good.
No, I felt like I should ask.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Ooh, it's changed through the years. At one point, my favorite song was most definitely "For Good," and it's still an excellent song. However, recently, I don't know why, but since I knew
at the same time. Ready?
I don't think we're gonna have the same favorite song.
I want to know. You ready?
Right, are we gonna say it on 3 or after 3?
After 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Dancing Through Life. Okay. Go ahead.
Recently, I've been singing "What Is This Feeling." It just pops in my head, and I sing it, and it's just...
That's cute.
It's so catchy.
Was that because you loathe so many people who you come in contact with? And you just like loathing? Unadulterated loathing.
Maybe it makes light of like these... It's such a light and catchy, happy song, too.
But with such...
real feelings.
Yeah.
Just like...
Makes light of stressful situations.
Yes. It's also just a really nice, catchy song.
It's very staccato.
Yes. But there's a lot of... So I really like that one. I like... Popular is kind of funny, but I wouldn't put it. I do like Dancing Through Life, and Defying Gravity is good.
As long as
There's-
you're mine.
Yeah, there's just a lot of really good ones.
That's a good one.
But right at this particular point in time, I'm going to go with What Is This Feeling is my favorite song in this musical.
I would say that's fair. It's not a bad song. I like it. I like it too. I used to like it a lot. Because, with the staccato, I like that. Dancing Through Life, I like because I like pretty much any song that's very long. I like give me a good 8-minute song. I'm all about it. And it gives you get a lot of characters, you get a lot of stuff happening. I like it. As Long As You're Mine has always been a fave of mine, so I really like it. I like this soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It is good. I would say my least favorite song is Something Bad.
Something that there's not much to it.
No. The other one would be A Sentimental Man.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
That's the one I will skip
Yep.
anytime. Something Bad, sometimes I'll leave it on because it's like, okay, I'm gonna do something else while this is playing. A Sentimental Man, I'm just like, sorry, Joel, but
Yes.
it's not you. It's the lyrics.
Those two I could do without.
Wonderful, I could do without too.
Oh, yes.
The Wizard,
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Yeah,
who
I
cares?
agree.
Oh, Norbert Leo Butz, who plays Fiyero, he was Jamie in the last 5 years. He originated the role of Jamie in the last 5 years.
Oh. He was not the hero that I saw live.
Yeah, he was on Broadway. You saw it in St. Louis.
Okay.
I didn't think he came here.
I
for
guess
that.
nobody comes to see this.
Nobody popular. I mean, Billy Joel was here, but he's got a lot of crinkles.
Yeah. You two. Canceled.
Yeah.
Thanks, you two.
You just left us here. You idiots. Just kidding. My brother-in-law loves Bono, but whatever.
I like you. Like, I enjoy some of their music,
Oh,
but
no.
I didn't appreciate.
Tres, 14. That's their only song I know.
Oh.
Vertigo, because people were making fun of it because you're going 1, 2, 3, 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did our favorite song. We
Least
did our
favorite.
least favorite.
Yeah.
What are we gonna rate this out of?
I will rate it out of, I don't know, Flying Monkeys or something like that.
Flying monkeys, ruby slippers, pointy hats.
Were they silver in this?
I don't remember.
Because in the book they're silver. In both the Wicked book and the Wizard of Oz, they are silver slippers. FYI.
Oh.
Ruby looked better on the Technicolor camera, which is why they did red.
Oh.
They did the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember because it was such a small.
You weren't just looking at their feet.
Yes. I want to say they actually were red
Probably.
because on stage it would also look better.
That's true. What do you want to rate this out? Ruby slippers? That's fine.
I gave you like 3 options. Well,
I
you
don't
said
remember
one.
the other two.
You said flying monkeys, ruby slippers, pointy hats.
Oh, I was going to say that. Did you read my mind?
I said it already.
You incepted me?
I said it.
You incepted my mind. I got inception. Rate it out of whatever you think is best.
Wait, what do you like the best of those options?
I think they're all great.
I'm gonna go with pointy hats.
I like it.
Okay. Is that your do you like it the best?
Yes. Please go. I have to pee.
For sentimental reasons and because it is just awesome, I'm gonna give this 5 pointy hats out of 5.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna give it 4.9 because there are 2 songs that I don't like and skip. So I take that back.
Yep. I'm going to give it 4.5 because I think it's good. It's not like my most favoriteest thing ever. I think my sister Kelly, you and my sister Kelly are very like the same person, which is kind of weird.
I like her, so that works out for me.
I like you both, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I love you both the most.
We won't let you go, so that's good.
That's good. That's great. But she also really loves Wicked, and I think she'd probably rate it the same as you. I'm going to give it 4.5. I think it's fine, but it's not necessarily my go-to if I want to listen to something.
That's fair. Like if I had to rank my top 3 favorite musicals, this is weird. Phantom of the Opera may have dropped off. At one point, it was my top. No. So Hamilton 1, Wicked 2. No, Phantom of the Opera still might have to be 3. It might have to. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go with just 1 and 2 for now that I know for sure. Hamilton is 1, and Wicked is my second favorite musical of all time.
I can't do that, so I can't.
Hmm.
Too many to choose from.
Do you have a number 1? Can you at least do a number 1?
It changes so frequently. I mean, I really like Hamilton, but as far as every musical that I've been exposed to, I don't know if I want to just flippantly put it at number 1. I would want to carefully think about it.
I, don't listen to as many as you do, so I have way less to choose from. That's really it. That was my only point.
One and done.
Yes, 1 and done.
That's all. Do you want to tell the people where they can reach us, or do you want me to do?
Oh,
Do you want to do your best?
do that.
Oh. You can email us at tamftpodcast@gmail.com. Nobody's been emailing us. I want to know why you hate us. Why don't you like us?
I can email us.
You don't even listen to the show.
That I can email us.
No. Listen to an episode and respond to it. That would be great.
Can I respond to this one?
Sure. So you can
Right
find
now?
us on You can find us on Twitter at TAMFT Podcast, and what else? Facebook, TAMFT Podcast. Yeah, that's really it. SoundCloud, same thing. iTunes. You look real sleepy.
How about now?
Shut up. I'm not gonna look at you.
Why not?
Bye. Say bye.
Do I still look sleepy?
You look scary.
But do I look sleepy?
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening.
It's just, for the first time, I feel wicked.
Bye, everybody.
Farewell.
Bye.
Goodbye.
On Dada-see.
Bye. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.